Okay, there we go. It said poor wireless connections. I was like, it's not gonna go. Okay. Hello and welcome, Facebook friends. My name is Jessica Lozano, and I'm a women's relationship coach and feminine embodiment mentor. And I help women have extraordinary relationships with the love of their lives and really become the full expression of their feminine essence and multidimensional self as women, and how that divine expression comes to play in her sacred union relationship, and how that, oh my God, just creates this dance between man and woman and the evolution and their embodiment of king and queen in a relationship, right? We hold so much in a partnership. We have the frequency, the energetic, the tone, the heartbeat of a relationship. So our energy, oh my God, is so important, and it is what goes first. We are the call and the men respond to that. So we have such a responsibility when it comes to this energy and this power that we have as women. And this is what I dive into with my clients, whether you're on one-on-one, whether you're in my group programs, whether you are in anything, any of the free offerings that I have. This is what I teach women. So welcome to, what's today? Day 25 of 365 days of Facebook Live. For the next 5 days, most likely, unless I decide to put 2 into the same live, I'm going to share little snippets of 5 reasons, or not snippets, like a mini transmission of the 5 reasons of why you don't want to drop your panties for your husband, your partner, your long-term committed relationship, right? And I'm doing it in 5 segments, 5 bite-sized, easy transmissions for that exact reason, so that you can take one, soak it in, watch the next one, soak it in, watch the next one, soak it in, because this could be a really long one if I decide to go into all 5 reasons, which there's nothing wrong with that. But I felt that this would be fun, this would be light, this would be easy, simple, more like simple. And you can binge watch all of these and then decide if Dripping Pleasure is for you, or if Sensual Woman Mastermind is for you. These are the 2 offerings that I have. Well, I have more things going on. Also, the other offering would be a program, but these are the 2 that are very specifically concentrated around your sexual sacred anatomy, your sexuality, your sensuality as a woman, your eroticism, your pleasure, all of that. These are the 2 that are very much in alignment with these live streams that I'm going to give from today for the next 5 days, one of the 5 reasons. So as you binge watch these, right, or if you're watching them, you can decide whether Dripping Pleasure or Sensual Woman or both are for you. So I'll talk more about Dripping Pleasure and Sensual Woman at the end. So let's get into today's number 1 reason. Not number 1 reason. These are in no particular order. This is just the first bullet point. There we go. First bullet point. As to why you don't want to drop your panties for your husband, right? Why you don't want to have sex with him. Why are you so resistant to having sex with him? Why is it that every time, not every time, but maybe most of the time that he wants it, you're like, oh my God. Why is it that you are dying, like in the back of your mind, you legit want a legit reason as to why you can't have sex with your husband, why you're not able to have sex with your husband, right? Let's say, whatever, you're sick, he gets sick. Doesn't matter, right? You're like praying, you're like, okay, God, please let there be a reason, right? And I get this. I get that. I was there at one point. I was just like, felt like it was an obligation, felt like, you know, I'm with the love of my life, and why isn't this happening? Why don't I feel like I just want to like dive all the way in and like, or be dived into, you know what I mean, into this experience? And there are 5 reasons that I have found for that. And the very first bullet point reason perhaps is the one thing where everything else really stems from. So this is why I decided to start with this one as the first bullet point, which is that you don't have a relationship with your body, with your sacred sexual anatomy, and with pleasure, right? You can experience things with your body, you can experience things with your sacred sexual anatomy, you can experience pleasure, but it doesn't mean you actually have like a relationship with it, right? Like we can experience men all day long, but having an actual relationship with a man is different. And there's also a difference between a conscious relationship and an unconscious relationship, right? Same thing with money. You can have a conscious relationship with money or an unconscious relationship with money. Either way, we're always having a relationship, but what kind? And when I say you don't have a relationship, I mean you most likely don't have an awakened relationship to your body, to your sacred sexual anatomy, to your pleasure, right? And when I say sacred sexual anatomy, I mean all the different places and organs and segments, delicious, beautiful, juicy, plump segments of your body that make you a woman. Even just the curves on your body and the skin, right? The way you see yourself in the mirror, right? That's what I mean by your sacred sexual. Well, by the way you see yourself in the mirror, that's a little bit different. That would be more building a relationship with a relationship with your actual just entire body, right? Because every single part of our body can bring pleasure to it, right? Even if if a man touches your hair and just like pulls on it so gently and oof, like that can be pleasure. Have you seen those videos on Instagram, like the Instagram reels? I'm sure they pop up here on Facebook as well, where there's a guy like pulling the girl's head, like the woman's head, his customer's head, and then like he's massaging his neck, and the comments are like, this is not a rated PG massage, like this is not professional, this is something like more an erotic massage here, right? So our whole body can experience pleasure. I mean, even the sight of our eyes can experience like pleasure, right? It's just like a different texture as to how. But if you feel pleasure within sensation, every single part of our body can feel pleasure and sensation, like from our lips, like from the touch, right? From everything. From how when a man whispers in our ear and like you can hear like the depth and tone of his voice, and like the air that comes in when he pronounced certain words, just going like penetrating into our ear, that can give us like goosebumps all the way down our spine, right? Like that's pleasurable sensation. So when you don't have a relationship, what I really mean is that you have an unconscious relationship. You've been probably walking around this world as to the moment that you've realized that you've had a body, you've had this feminine body that men are attracted to, right? We can start very young. The first time that I ever had this type of, well, actually, maybe the first time I ever had any kind of sensation was probably when I was like 6. But when I was like 8 years old was the first time that I've realized that men would be looking at my body, right? Now, in this specific situation, the guy was like really drunk and way out there. Like nothing happened at all. But obviously he couldn't see clearly because he was so drunk. But right, as young as 8 years old, I began to have an awareness of, maybe I was a little bit older, maybe I was like, it doesn't matter, around that age bracket, that men are attracted to this, right? This is probably the first time you ever started to be aware of your body. And like most of the women in society, we just kind of, okay, this is what it is. And you see TV and you see how men are reacting to other women on TV. And it's just like this really unconscious thing. And especially now in society and and just the way that things are, it's very exploitatory. Is that the right word? Of women's bodies, right? There's no sacredness of the woman's body, right? So we grew up with all this. We grew up in this sort of conscious way, in this kind of unconscious way to, unconscious meaning not having like a sleep to this, right? Didn't have mothers or a mentor or a teacher to be like, hey, this is, these are your breasts. This is where it's connected right directly to your heart chakra. And learn about our body as we become buddy. And we learn about our bodies in school, most of us, in a very just scientific way. Nothing that has to do with how to honor our body, how to value our body. It was more of just like, like just go off in the world. You know what I mean? We didn't have a relationship to our body. We didn't have a mentor, because I would say, I guess our mothers could do it, could teach us. I don't know. Once I have children and that things get to that age, we'll see what happens and how I teach my children. But there wasn't a building of our breasts, the beauty of our breasts, what our breasts have to offer, like for pleasure for ourselves, right? What our pussy and the kind of pleasure it has to offer for ourselves, and the exploration of that. I know some women do butt play, so we'll say that too, right? You know what I mean? Like there wasn't this like awareness as to all these beautiful parts in this sacred technology that creates human life in conjunction with the man. Like there was none of that. It was just pure masculine, logical, you're going to get breast, you're going to start to bud, this is what you're going to feel, which we need these things, but where is that area of like the sacredness and the holiness of this, right? So when we don't have one, when we don't have a relationship with our body, when we haven't been learned about it, especially how most of us grew up in culture these days, it's more of just like loosely give your body. Loosely give your body. And I guess I don't want to say robbed, but we are removed from having one of the deepest and profound connection with the vessel that you are going to be walking with for the rest of your life. Right? This is the vessel that we will be walking with the rest of our life. This is the vessel that we are going to have the most intimate connection with another man. And yet we're not taught how to even have, how can you have a really deep, profound, intimate connection with a man about your body if you don't even have one yourself, right? So when we don't have that, and when things have happened to us in our lives, a lot of us women probably have some sort of negative experience with the man, with our body. Doesn't matter to what extreme, it's still a negative relationship, a negative experience. Those things start, and we don't, when we haven't cultivated a practice with our body, with our sensuality, with our sexuality, it can feel like this innocence, again, no matter how extreme it was robbed from us, was taken from us. And we don't purify our bodies from that experience, right? This is what it means when you have a relationship with your body, right? So it's like, if you just take about like heartbreak, if a man breaks your heart, if you don't have a relationship with your own inner child and with your heart and with that experience, you'll just walk into next relationship to the next relationship to the next relationship, continuing to get heartbroken. Versus, I'm heartbroken, I'm going to take this time for myself, I'm going to create this relationship with myself and with my heart and with my inner child and with the part of me that was involved with this man, so I can heal and I can create a better relationship. Right? So it's the same thing with our bodies. When we have a relationship with our bodies, when we don't have it and things happen to us that are negative experience with men, it gets trapped in our bodies, especially as women. This is why women have so much more ailments than men, in my belief, because we really are a receptive energy. We have energy that gets really drawn in. Energy gets stuck from men in our bodies when we have sex with them. And when we don't have this relationship with our bodies, we begin to feel resentful to men and resentful to the actual intimacy of sex, right? Therefore, it leads to eventually with your husband or a long-term partner, you don't want to have it anymore. You feel this eventually because then after the newness has gone away, like most couples, and after the relationship starts having its struggles and its conflicts and its challenges, which happens in every relationship, and these are other pieces to it, but we're not going to talk about that. It just all piles up, and eventually, like, because if you go from new relationship to new relationship to new relationship, it's going to be a little bit different in your sexual experience, right? You're going to, because it's new, there's like an exploration and all of those things. So once you take that off the table, it's like you're left with what's there, with what was always there, which is the pain and the lack of a relationship with your body. So when you don't have a relationship with pleasure, right? When you're just, pleasure is not yours, like when you haven't really had, like, understand what pleasure feels in your body for you, just for you, of course you're not going to enjoy sex. Of course you're not going to want to drop your panties for your husband, right? Of course that's not going to happen. Because what do you like? What feels good to you? Have you explored your body in this beautiful, innocent, sacred way? Most women have not. At least the women that I work with have not. Some have. I'm not going to say that's not true. Some women have. So for me, not having a relationship with pleasure was for the man. My pleasure is just quick, 1 second. And pleasure, just have sex real quick and that's it. Go, done. That's it. Nothing else. But when I started building and creating a relationship with pleasure and with my body on my own, creating a sovereign relationship with my body, was I putting back the pieces, the missing pieces that I felt were either robbed from me, that I felt that I mistreated, that I abused, because I just didn't know any better, because of ego, because of all of those things. As I repaired and returned and purified this energy and restored the wholeness of my sacred sexuality through building a relationship with my body was Eros starting to awaken, right? Because for most of my life, and let me know if this is how you felt, my body wasn't for me. I always felt like it was for the man. That's what I felt like. So of course, when we also have these kinds of beliefs, what are we thinking about men subconsciously, even with our partner, even if he's the love of our life? If we always felt like our body is for men, our body are they're pulling on us, they're pulling on our body, they're pulling on our sexuality, they're pulling on our eros, that will reflect in your relationship. At some level, could be so nuanced. It doesn't have to be as exaggeratory or as obvious as some of your other relationships, but it will still affect your marriage and your partnership when we haven't healed the way that we view men also with this. And that comes with healing first, reclaiming your body for yourself and having that kind of relationship with your body. Your body is, Jesus Christ, it's magical, right? There's so much that this body does, like creates, and the types of pleasure that you can experience. And I know for me, it has been a profound awakening and a deepening of my relationship with God, without a doubt. And that's where in Sensual Woman, we're going to take it to that level, like having that spiritual relationship with God and your body and your pleasure, and how that is really cultivate, like how we're going to cultivate that, and how that's connected. And dripping pleasure, we're really going to start awakening this aspect, start building and creating a relationship with your body. Maybe for the first time ever. Or maybe in the way that I'm going to teach you, which is going to be fun, because every single day you're going to have something that you're going to be doing, because this is a challenge. So with the challenge comes with things that you're going to do every day. I didn't sleep that good last night. This like mini program. I like mini program better. I'm not sure if I necessarily like challenge. So in dripping pleasure, it's for women who are desiring, who are yearning to awaken their sexuality and really want to have sex with her man. Like you really want it. It's not something that you're just like, oh no, I don't want to. That you're not even shying away from, like resisting away from, and praying that something comes up so you don't have to, or just making it a chore. It's really created this for the women who really want to reclaim this part of their feminine and have a relationship with her husband, with sex that's sovereign, right? One that feels like, I so much enjoy having sex with you, you know? Like it's an important circuitry in relationship. You don't want to stay stuck in and calcify your no with having sex with your man. You don't want to be in that place in a long-term committed relationship, because then you are killing the circuitry. I'm not saying that you have an obligation and to betray yourself to do it, but you have to. I want you to understand the importance of this spiritual and physical connection that there is in sacred union when it comes to this. So this is why I created this mini program, this challenge, for whether you're single or whether you're in a relationship, because this is an important aspect for you as a woman, for you to feel fulfilled with your body, to feel like whole, to feel sovereign with every single aspect of your body, and know what to do with your power in your body. Right, with your sexual power and with your pleasure, because a lot of women don't know what to do with it. And that's why another reason why we shut it off. We know the power that it has on men. We know that either in a conscious or subconscious level through the experiences we have. We know that. And I want you to harness this energy. So that's what we're going to do in Dripping Pleasure, and go even deeper in that within the Sensual Woman Mastermind. So Dripping Pleasure is $75 right now. It's going to go up to $150, and we begin in 6 days. Sensual Woman, we're going to be starting sometime in June. I don't have an exact date for this mastermind, and that's okay. This is just, I'm waiting for the right time to land. This is application only, which really it means that me and you're going to have a conversation about this program to see that if it is this mastermind, to see if it's what you're looking for and if it's the right fit. We'll either do that through a couple of voice notes, or we'll hop on a connection call. I don't like reading applications and things like that. I'd rather just like, hey, let's jump on a call, or let's chat through the voice notes, and I can figure it out like that. So that one right now is $699. It will go up to $999 in June. It will go up. So Dripping Pleasure, I haven't decided yet when I'm going to bring it up. I'm waiting for my feminine to be like, or my masculine, for the seed to be planted from God to be like, okay, this is when it's going to go up. So it will go up to $150. The next price increase is going to be $100, I feel. So $75 right now. If you have any questions about Dripping Pleasure or about Sensual Woman or anything else, message me. I would love to talk to you and get your questions answered, so you can make a sovereign choice. All right. I hope to see you inside of Dripping Pleasure or Sensual Woman, and I'll see you tomorrow for reason 2 of 5 of why you don't want to drop your panties for your husband. All right. Bye.